Mussels. There's so many mussels on these rocks.
What's up, my peeps? Welcome back to another episode from your soon-to-be favorite urban traveler. Now today you're going to join us as we travel down the Pacific Coast Highway from Oregon to the fascinating city of San Francisco. After 2 days there, we're going to continue on the PCH to San Jose, where you'll join us in another wonderful treehouse stay. Even with all the fog that consistently hovered over the Pacific Northwest and now Northern California, I couldn't help noticing how relaxing the day had been as we drove into San Francisco. Well, should I say as Ilana drove us into San Fran. Maybe it was the excitement of knowing we're finally going to be in San Francisco. I mean, we were on the Golden Gate Bridge, and even though it was a relaxing drive, that didn't mean this leg of our journey was coming to an end. And that got me thinking about this place in life. I mean, just like with this drive, the reality is this part of my journey with Ilana is quickly coming to an end. It was weird for me, but I noticed in Seattle, she didn't see herself as my little girl anymore, which means I have to look at her differently as well, don't I? I think anyone who is a parent, but definitely anyone who loves being a parent knows this is a difficult place to be in. Especially if you're the father of a daughter. Because daughters might love their fathers, but they want to be their mother's best friend. So as she is now an adult, she's pretty much done with me, which means I have nothing but these last moments to cherish.
The mussels. There's so many mussels on these rocks. You should have seen the other one. I don't know. Yeah, you should have seen the other one. They're like, they grow like grass. Or they like, not grow.
Grass?
But they're like,
they form. They look.
Stay together. Like a field of grass. So many. And then the smaller ones are on top and then the bigger ones are on the bottom. They get like really big. And then there are starfish too. And then an anemone on the bottom. It's so cool. And then there's also seaweed.
I'm sure I'm not the only parent to say, I wish I could hold on to this moment forever. Before we drove down to San Francisco from Oregon after another treehouse stay, we stopped at Aryas Beach. The host of that treehouse told us about this amazing display of starfish and other sea creatures you could only see early in the morning while the tide was out. So we got up early in the morning, drove down to the beach to capture a few memory-making moments. Because these are the moments that seem to pass so quickly. Goes Paisano for all you Old heads. Y'all know who Gagos Paisano is. That'd be her now. She took over the reins. Crazy, because I didn't even know what to say. I mean, I'm looking at the trolley cars and the hills of San Francisco. On the real, it was a lot to take in. We're in San Francisco. Yeah. Obviously, this had to mean more to me than it would Ilana. I mean, I know some of the history of San Francisco, and I grew up watching shows, and there were movies, so many movies set in San Francisco. So how could I be anything but excited at this point, right? So I just took it all in as she drove us to our hotel. Yeah, if you dance, I'll put music to it.
What kind of music?
Yep, not that kind. Another reason I was so excited? The location of our hotel. I mean, we're right next to the Transamerica building. Then, of course, I was happy that our room was just as cool. Hey. Oh, yeah. This is what's up. Nice view of the bay. After the last place we stayed during this road trip, which was another treehouse, but I didn't record because it didn't come as advertised, let's just say. Le Meridien Hotel, on the other hand, was a pleasurable and welcomed experience, and I don't think I'm being a snob for liking a classy, well-kept place. Now, it's almost impossible to think about San Francisco without thinking about the Golden Gate Bridge. Ghirardelli's is also pretty popular, but there are a few other spots I found in San Fran that were pretty interesting, pretty beautiful as well. One such place is the Palace of Fine Arts, located in the Marina District at the edge of the Presidio. The Palace of Fine Arts, originally built in 1915 for the Panama Pacific Exposition to celebrate the completion of the Panama Canal. But San Francisco saw it as a reason to celebrate their recovery from the massive 1906 earthquake. The Palace of Fine Arts was designed by the architect Bernard Maybach, who at the time was an instructor at the University of California in Berkeley. Maybach was inspired by Greek and Roman architecture. After the exposition, most of the structures were demolished. Now, the cool thing is, the palace was so loved that it was saved through the efforts of the Palace Preservation League. Now, by 1950, this simulated ruin was done, because initially it was only built to last through the length of the exposition. So in 1964, the entire structure was demolished, and the colonnade and rotunda were rebuilt using durable steel I-beams and concrete. In 2010, the work was complete, and today the Palace of Fine Arts is a huge, beautiful park. Now, this fascinating street, located just 5 blocks from Fisherman's Wharf, often called the crookedest street in the world, and is a place you'll want to see, photograph, and drive down, is Lombard Street. This iconic one-block attraction shows the steepness of the San Francisco hills in a unique way. At 325 feet above sea level, there are 8 hairpin turns at a 27% grade as it goes down from Hyde Street to Leavenworth Street, which means for every 27 feet you travel, this red brick lined road drops 27 feet. Damn. We're walking the streets of San Francisco. Yeah.
San Francisco!
I kind of like this place.
Me too.
Live here, right outside the city. That's crazy. So this all turned out nice because we left our room kind of aimlessly. I mean, we drove around for a little while trying to find some place to eat, which wasn't easy because every place we wanted to eat at was crazy booked, had a stupid wait list. But eventually we found something and we had a nice lunch. Now, I didn't shoot any of that because I was way too hungry to be focusing on shooting. But trust me, it was good. After lunch, we decided to continue being spontaneous, so we left the car over by the restaurant and we jumped on the Muni. So we ended up at Golden Gate Park, which again wasn't planned. We were still winging it pretty much. My daughter was in the mood to explore, so we did. And that's how we found the 25th annual Lindy in the Park concert. After 2 fun days in San Francisco, it was time to get back on the road. Alright, here we go. About to see what's up. So today I'm going to give you something that I haven't given you guys in a very long time. It's a tour of an Airbnb treehouse. I'm in San Jose, California, in this cozy, cool treehouse called the Nest. It's an extra treehouse. The tree runs right through it. Might be more than one tree though. I'll take a look at that. As you come up to the deck, you get this unbelievable feeling like, yo, is this really happening? And there's a welcome sign right by the door with a little poem that starts out, "A treehouse, a free house, a secret you and me house." And it just puts you in the perfect mindset to relax and just take it all in. Now, it is literally a cool thing that the Nest was built in a tree with so many branches and leaves, because even with temperatures in the 90s, this treehouse was protected from all this California sun. So you can choose to chill on the deck, which overlooks Silicon Valley, or down on this well laid out patio. As you can see, I was right. It's put in more than one tree, which is crazy, crazy cool. Because you already know, I love when the tree runs through the treehouse. But then there's still enough space to move around comfortably. Here we go. This place. Another nice one. Yes. Okay. Up in the loft, there are 2 sleeping areas, each with a queen-size bed that overlooks Silicon Valley. So as always, the ease of booking your stay at an Airbnb goes like this. Figure out the area you'd like to visit/stay. View all the tree houses in that area. Once you find a tree house that matches all your must-haves, and I mean all your must-haves because tree houses are special, you know? So this means you really have to take your time. I would even investigate the area to make sure that meets your needs. Is 250 square feet big enough for you? I mean, for me, it was like being in a tiny house 14 feet in the air, held up by 3 sycamore trees. Scroll through their calendar to check their availability. And if what they have available matches your dates, you book it. So easy. Still. So if you're planning on coming out, I advise you don't wait too long because they seem to be booking up.
How are you? You can come up.
So it was kind of cool because Ilana invited her current college roommate who lives in San Jose to come pick her up, and after they did a tour of the treehouse, they went off and did their own thing.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so cute. There's like butterfly pillows. And a kitchen?
And a bathroom.
How does that?
So after their tour, they were off. And it was weird, maybe even a little saddening to see her drive off with her friend. And as a man, I'm not supposed to admit that. But I'm not ashamed to admit I love my daughter. But as I said earlier, this part of my journey with my daughter is coming to an end. And like so many parents before me, I'll have to adjust. Meantime, I'm going to sit in my treehouse and watch one of my favorite shows. This always gets a laugh out of me.